Door Slammed Open exists so that the gospel is spread in El Salvador and Honduras, where we go. We take people with us through the parks support, through the Sowing for Eternity support, so that we can encourage, equip, and be a part of that spreading of the gospel, so that the local ministers there are able to take the gospel out to the communities. Door Slammed Open supports 2 separate locations of evangelism schools. And there's one in San Ignacio, El Salvador, and then there's one in Ocotepeque, Honduras. There's only about 12 kilometers between those 2 locations, but there's an international border, which makes it difficult to go back and forth especially for the U.S. But they are able to go back and forth fairly easily.
Because members of the park give, we are able to sponsor a student on each side of the border at the Preaching Institute. During those trips, we go for about a week, and they vary each time based on what's going on down there. So we want the preachers down there, we're there to support them. So we want them to plan activities. And in the past, sometimes those activities involve a gospel meeting. Sometimes they involve trips where we get to go into the local prison and minister and preach there.
It's primarily working with what their goals are so that we can help them further the gospel in their communities, because they know the communities better than we do. Part of the reason for our name is that we found that even though we may have plans, God has better plans, but He always opens doors, as we find in Colossians chapter 4. Devote yourselves to prayer, being watchful and thankful, and pray for us too, that God may open a door for our message, so that we may proclaim the mystery of Christ, for which I am in chains. Pray that I may proclaim it clearly as I should.
I'm Mike Rampy, and this is my wife Narissa, and we were blessed to be able to go to the Doors Slammed Open ministry in Honduras, El Salvador, and it really changed our lives.
We went to a lady named Olga, her home, and she had 2 teenage daughters, and she had lost a daughter recently and was very sad and had not been attending church, although many there had been visiting with her.
In her home, we were able to study with her and pray with her and encourage her that she needed, along with her daughters, needed to be back at church where, people could help her through this time of her loss. And so we invited her. We were going to be there, and we wanted her to be our guest. So we mentioned that to several people, and there weren't very many people encouraged that would really happen, that she would really show up. And so church was getting ready to start, and we kept looking at the entrance of the building to see if she was going to be there. And right before it started, in walked Olga with her 2 daughters. And we had saved the seats for them, and they came and sat down with us. And I'll always remember this, that at the invitation song, that Olga went forward. And down there, when they go forward, they stand in front of the congregation, facing the congregation. And there Olga was by herself. And I went forward and stood by Olga.
We had faith that she would be there. We really did. And everyone else didn't. The church members had been, I guess, so discouraged by that she wasn't attending. But we just kept saying, she's going to be here. She's going to be here. We know by God's grace she's going to be here. So when she walked in, it was so exciting. It really was.
What I love about the people down there is that they really, in our world, they don't have anything. They don't have a lot of worldly possessions. They're looking for the next meal, but they're happy. And when they receive the gift of Jesus, they want to tell people about it. And so what excites us about this ministry is that they're training people to go out and plant new churches. And it's really exciting to see the growth. Like I said, they go and tell people they're excited about this Jesus.
They have a great dedication to serving God and to learning the Word so that they can preach. And so that's what the Doors Slammed Open ministry does, is it supports those preachers and that training, and it's a wonderful program to see that in action.
What the park can do for us is support us in a couple of ways. We, of course, would love more funds. Everybody would. And the more funds we have, the more people that can go. And that's what we would really like. We would love for you to go with us so that you can be a part of sending the message of God and providing support and encouragement and love for the local work there.